Again, I don't know why you need to hear this, but here goes. Earlier this week, I slipped in the story of what you lot have coined the live succubus. And this was a real life experience. And I gave accounts of my first experience with the cunning lingua, as you might call it. I gotta stop. But so basically, this is what happened. This is a story of how my perspective on the oral gymnastics changed, and how I came to find a relationship with it. Okay, so let's start off. African kid. You know, if you're Nigerian, you know, Nigerians have an internal struggle with their sexuality. And I don't mean like in the sense of like, what do you want to be, straight or gay or bi? No, no, no. In this, maybe that too. But in the sense of like, because we are all grounded in religion and our religion is our foundation, what happens is it creates this inner conflict. So we do not engage in sexual acts without this inner guilt and turmoil of was that right? Was that wrong? Should I be exploring? Is that something I should be doing with my life? You know, we have all these inner battles. And any Nigerian knows going through this. Don't let them lie to you. Whatever the fuck they said, no, they're going through. And if you're not going through it, then you have a renowned, confirmed demon. That means you have embraced the ways of the world. And you need to be cast out. I'm kidding. All right, let's relax. Okay, so anyways, let's get down to the story before I get off course. I'm a young spring chicken. Just showed up in New York at the shores. Optimistic about life ahead. When I was leaving Nigeria, I remember there was a time I got emotional looking outside of the plane, and I was thinking to myself, like, yo, it was really hard being a kid there and fitting in sometimes. So I was like, man, like the chances in America are going to be a lot less. It's like, I'm never going to see titties. Like that was one of my biggest, like, emotional like struggles. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to this place where I'm going to have even less chances of getting anywhere close to seeing titties. And this was at that time, you know, one of my biggest goals. You know, at 16 years old, you have very few goals. One of the top goals of mine was seeing titties live, real life titties. Anyways, fast forward. I'm getting my feet wet in New York. Of course, I'm dating, I guess. But I was never intentionally dating because at that time, my focus is still my goals and my dreams. I never actually intentionally set myself up to be a serial dater. But I met people, and the thing is, you meet people, you form connections, and things happen. You hang out, you get something to eat, and before you know it, you're exchanging life stories, and you know you have things in common. And then what are we? And then it gets complicated. Anyways, let's not do that. That's not what we're here for. I meet this lovely lady. We happen to cross paths amongst a group of friends. We exchange jokes. Everybody exchanges jokes. But like most, you know, when you building with somebody in a public setting, like everybody's laughing, but it's like y'all laughing. Like everybody laughing. Like we all doing a joke thing. But it's like I see you and you see me, and we both picking up what we putting down. And it's like, damn, I want to see your titties. No, I'm kidding. But that was one of the goals, of course. So of course, we get to texting, we text, and, there's some back and forth humor. At that time, I had so much time on my hands. So of course, texting was my favorite, part-time sport. So I'm like, texting her, she's texting me, we're going back and forth. And one thing is, I'm not going to lie, at that time, being that, like I said, Nigerians had this inner conflict of religious turmoil on the inside. I had the turmoil, and it affected my perspective on my type. So I like thick women, right? Thick is a definition, right? Thick is what the goal is. But not just thick now, I was looking for the churchy types, which is weird. No offense to her if she watches this video. So I liked the churchy types. I liked the types that looked like the ones that I knew in Sunday school. So it's like, this had now become my default, right? So I was basically attracted to the sisters that were the Maria Macasket, or that's what we call the big, basically the skirts that Oprah wears in purple, color purple. But we go, I said, let's hang out, let's go out. I could be a bit of a hopeless romantic sometimes, but not actively, because I'm like, yo, I don't, until I'm ready, I cannot. Anyways, I'm like, let's go walk. Rhode Island, Roosevelt Island. We go for a walk. We talk and everything. We went to several other places. We hang out. It was cool. Got to know each other. It's great. We're vibing. It's getting chilly. It's getting late. I think this was like towards like fall, the ending of fall. It's getting late. It's getting chilly. So what are we about to do? At this point in time, I don't know anything about game. I'm not really up on what men are supposed to do to make moves, right? Because I'm still like figuring out the ropes. I'm not really. I don't know the lines. I'm just going along for a good time. I'm having a great time with this girl. We're hanging out. Everything's great. We're vibing. I love it. Then she's like, I mean, what do you, and I was like, hey, we could go back to my, like, it's, we already kissed. Like, so it's like, what's next? Right. So she's like, oh yeah, sure. I was like, okay, cool. So we go back to my place, right? We go back to my place. Of course, all the intensity that had been building throughout that day of walking and talking and vibing and just her in that floral religious skirt, Lord Jesus. And I have all these thoughts, but I'm like, it's just the imagination. I'm like, 2 years away from, this was 2 years after losing my virginity. I have no idea how the game goes. I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. Like, this is a free for all. This is I'm throwing every game I got at her, and for the most part, it's not even throwing every game I have. I'm not even trying to do too much so she doesn't know that I don't have game. So basically, we laid up. At that time, I didn't even have a bed. I had a futon. Boy, we've come a long way. Progress, I guess. The futon, so we sit down on the futon, you know how niggas do, like, we fake watching TV or whatever, right? Like, because we're here to do that. That's what so we're watching TV or whatever, and of course it progresses to like getting handsy, making out gets more intense. You're grabbing and holding and gripping. It is basically a Jamaican make out scene in Nollywood. If you've never seen the Jamaican make out scene in Nollywood, please Google that. Search on YouTube so you can see what I mean. Like, you're swallowing each other's faces. Essentially, we're doing all that, and it gets to the part where it's kind of like it's time to like go for, genitals, go for the hot spots. So I'm about to lock into her hot spot, right? At this point, finger linguistics is my game, okay? Not really much oral, because my perspectives on it, again, with the religious foundation, were that, it's just immoral, and that place is a hot crotch. It's been out for days. It probably has a smell. You shouldn't be putting your face there. These are my thoughts, okay? You could listen, but back then. So, of course, I don't do head. I just think it's derogatory for a woman to like have to get on her knees and put your genitals in her mouth. And I just not like I was like really big on reciprocating at the time. So it's like, I was like, don't do that. Don't do that to yourself, babe. Like, like I don't want that for you. Like, you're too beautiful. You're too pretty. Like, my precious. Just let me come in your titties. No. I'm kidding. Please. Anyways, so she's like, so I try to progress to her hotspot, and she's like, chill out. I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, no. I was like, what are you trying to do? She starts to go down for the pants and starts to pull my pants down. And I'm like, what are you doing? Stop. Like, yo, when are you going to put your face in my heart on to, huh? What, you going to sniff this? It's been a long day. I have worries, but worries that she doesn't give a fuck about. She's like, shut up, like, relax. I'll let you know when you're ready to leave, okay? And there was a look of determination on her face that was just like, all right, damn. Okay, you can have the whole fucking weenie if you want. Take the sausage. You want a hot dog? Here, you got it. She pulls the pants down. She goes for it, and she just starts. She just starts off, and I was like, what is this? It's so warm. So moist. What is happening? More. You can imagine. I'm losing my fucking mind. This is mind blowing. This has never happened to me before. I don't know where to begin. I'm like, oh shit. Before you know it, my hands on her head, and I'm massaging her scalp, and I'm caressing it, and I'm like, thank you. I'm near tears. I'm like, I don't know why this feels so. I've never felt anything like this before. This is so good. Thank you. Thank you so much. God, I've been missing out. And I didn't even know when the spring fountain shot off. You know, it was just fireworks. It was done. My mind was blown. I didn't know where I was. I was like, hold up. Let's stop for a second. She was like, remember, you got to go to work, right? I said, do I? Do I have to go to work though? Is that like really necessary right now? There are important things and there are importanter things. Is that really? Because I have been stressed, baby. I have been stressed. I like this type of distress. I need this. I call my job. Mind you, we going again. She's still at it. I call my job. I'm like, hey, man. And she's still going. I say, yo, I got to call out. I'm feeling really sick. I don't think I can come in tonight. They're like, oh, you sure? Like, they up on game. Like, you sure you really can't go? I was like, nah, I can't. I can't miss this. I can't. I mean, I'm going to see this again, but I can't miss this. So she continues. And we blow the night out. We blow the night out. When I say blow the night out, I mean we both exploding. Like, boom, and caca, haha, all of that. And I was done. Like I was like, there's a lot of things in life that you just speak so definitely about, like you think you know. Most of the time you don't. Say, head is disgusting. It shouldn't be done. We can't do without it. Ike, you are a liar. Well, Ike, young Ike, you are a liar. If you're watching, if you travel back in time, if I travel back, I send you this video. Because none of that shit was true. Niggas love their dicks.